What's good, guys? Dylan Flex here. You are now tuned in to Flip This, the podcast that is well overdue. I'm here with Mr. Next Watch himself.
How are you?
We're going to explain a little bit about reselling, sourcing, pricing. We're going to show you guys the mistakes that we made, and we're going to show you guys some of the stuff that you should and should not do. Eddie, explain how you got into reselling. Tell them a little bit about yourself now.
Yeah. So to get started, I guess I loved nice things when I was young, and I don't come from a ton of money, so it was like I wanted like the new iPhone. I wanted like some like cool wheels for my car, and I wanted all this stuff. And how I used to get it was just by flipping. Like I'd find things that were online that were just better deals, go buy them, and then take better photos and put them back up for sale. Like
Smart.
I wanted this stuff so bad that when I saw a good deal, I knew what it looked like. I ended up doing the research, inconsequently just by looking for products that I wanted to enjoy. So as I kept doing that, obviously I grew up, and then I went to go work for Rolex for a while. And, as I left there, I went to go work for a car dealership selling cars and making commission. And I figured, if I'm going to make commission for them, I might as well make commission for me. So I loved watches. I had a lot of knowledge after leaving Rolex, and, also just loving them myself. And I started flipping. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to not have anybody tell me what to do, and that was the most important thing to me.
So the freedom of everything.
The freedom of it all. I think that's definitely one of the best parts of being an entrepreneur, and also the scary parts, but also one of the best. And flipping stuff is having that freedom to go where you want, when you want, do what you want. But with great power comes great responsibility, my son.
That makes sense.
How'd you get started?
I got started, I was selling pencils in school. I was selling papers. I was selling dreams. I was actually selling True Religion jeans out of my car, purses, bags. I mean, man, I was hustling. I love everything about reselling, right? I fell in love with shoes when I was in high school. I thought to myself, man, if I could just get this pair of shoes that I'm wearing for free, what could I do? So I bought a couple shoes. Essentially, it paid for itself. And I'm like, what if I sold more of these? And shoes was booming at the time. Not that it's not. It's a little different now, obviously. But I branched into this sneaker world, which was insane, obviously. And at the time, it was just growing. Opened up a couple stores, got into reselling. That's clothes, shoes, literally everything you could think of. Shoes kind of stuck with me. Then it got into luxury goods as I built a bigger capital and a bigger bankroll, obviously. But yeah, it started off just as a hustler, man. My dad's an entrepreneur. My grandfather is an entrepreneur. I'm always going to be an entrepreneur. That's just how it is. I don't even have a resume. I can't even spell resume, bro. So yeah, it's been a long road, but we're here now. So we wanted to get into this podcast with you guys. Just how can you have more freedom? How could you make more money? It literally is that simple. And I don't see a lot of people doing this. And for the people that are doing it, they're not giving their secrets and their blueprints and stuff like that. You guys want to make money? You guys want to actually make money? Watch our podcast. This is just a start. This is just the beginning. Right, Eddie?
No, yeah. And sometimes I get a lot of my information just talking with other people in the industry. I think it's like really important to be around other people that are doing what you do and listening to them, listening to the good stories, listening to the bad stories,
Right.
seeing how they got caught up, seeing how they had success. I feel like all that stuff is so important and helps you inform yourself along the journey, because it all looks easy and the flipping is fun and we do live
Right.
a great life, but there's some stressful moments. Like, let's be honest, like we are running a business. There's the ups and downs. There's the highs and the lows. And
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun. It's a great time, but it doesn't come without some responsibility, right? So it's like, there's always the fun flips, but then,
I think some of the mistakes that we have made, we can help people maybe not make them, or maybe dodge them a little bit, because you had to learn a little bit on the way. You know what I mean?
100%. It cost me money. Like, this is School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
we paid for our own.
Well, nothing's free, baby. I always say that.
Yeah.
Could you give us one lesson that you have learned that you could tell them maybe just off the top of your head? I know not scripted or anything, that you could just help them maybe with something. Just to help them maybe save money, to make money, whatever you think.
I would say really beyond, like what would help you in your pursuit to that is probably just, we talk about this all the time, your reputation.
Right.
It precedes you. If you do good business, if people know you to do good business, if people know you as an honorable person that will back, their product, their word, whatever, and not just be a salesman to them. I think if you want a good business, be a good person, I think is kind of how it is. I do see a lot of people profiting who don't do good business. But I don't know how long that lasts, and I don't know if karma comes around. I mean, I think sometimes it does. Just
Comes to an end eventually. If you don't do good business, you're not a good person.
well, I just thinking like me and you, we built like a nice businesses steady. Like it hasn't been like we've seen the quick flashes in the pan, that come into our industry of buying and selling and are out almost just as quick as they came in. But they looked huge and they looked like the guys who had it all together. But
It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, is what you're saying.
I, I I think so. I mean, the more I look behind it, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What about you?
I would say, just off the top of my head, I would say don't be greedy. If you're selling something or buying something, I wouldn't lose the deal over, 20, 30, $100, right? If the deal's going to go through and you can have a consistent long-term customer and build that relationship, does the $100 or $20 really matter, right?
Exactly.
It really doesn't. People are like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy that for." It doesn't matter. I would make the person happy, take maybe a little less profit in the long term. I think you're going to make a ton of money off that person. So I would definitely say number one out of anything is do good business.
Yeah, I mean that goes from the buying it also to the selling
That's
it.
exactly
Boom.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and then you not only gain valuable customers who can lean on you when they need to liquidate their product, but also, when people want to come buy from you, you're able to offer some great deals too, which is great.
People want to know because even I love watches, right? Can you say some of the prices and some of the stuff that you flip? Because we're not talking like five figures, six figures. We're talking really selling, right?
Yeah.
What are some big pieces that you have sold so the people can know? And even I like to know, honestly, too, because we want people to know that you can scale your business. Literally, the sky's the limit. I know it sounds like cheesy and cliche to say, but I really believe that. So give us some examples of some of the stuff that you have sold.
No, I agree. I mean, I think I started my business off very, very, very small. I started with a $1,200 budget, and I bought a gold Zenith watch from like 1968 or something like that. And it had great bones. I took
Right.
better photos. I provided the whole backstory on it, and I sold it and made a few $100s in profit. And it was like kind of just this learning thing, nonstop. And yeah, it gets up to a big place. I mean, we've done some big watches. We do a few Pateks, a few Rolexes. I mean, we're talking, some of those watches are anywhere from $100 to $200,000, and yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I used to dream about this stuff, and now I do it. And it started with almost nothing, but maybe a little bit of knowledge and some persistence.
Well, that good business, and I will say this, it's one of my favorite sayings, anything is possible.
Yep.
Literally anything is possible. As a watch connoisseur or as a person who just loves watches myself, obviously we do a ton of business together. I buy watches off you. We have a blast doing watches, right? People love watches and stuff. Give us a couple examples of margins. You don't have to say like crazy, but like what are the margins? Because people talk to me and I tell them like, yo, I sold a $40,000 Rolex. I did 50,000. I sold a $300 watch, like little stuff. And they're like, must be nice, bro. And sometimes it is nice, but can you like elaborate a little bit more on that just to kind of let them know? Because it's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, I mean it's it's not what you think, right? It's like
Okay.
some of the I would say on average, just to get out, it's like you make 3 to 5% at the end of the year is how it happens.
Well, it
Some
adds up.
watches you'll do great, and some watches you won't. It's really hard to make money on these watches that everybody knows, the Datejust, the Submariners,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. These are bread and butter watches for every dealer out there. So it's like they understand the market, and also as consumers, you guys are pretty well informed. Like, I mean, you can go online, you can look up what these are selling for, like approximately, and know like whether or not you're getting a great deal or not. So it becomes like the seller only wants to sell it for X amount, but the buyer wants to buy it for so cheap. So you got to squeeze your little margin in there. I mean, we've sold $11,000 watches where we make $200, and that's just the way life is. Sometimes,
that's the
it's
truth.
like it's hard. It's harder than people think, and it's not like, oh yeah, like you're doing so, and we are doing well. It's not about that. It's just like it's about quantity, not quality, and that's why it goes back to the point when I'm saying like that's why it's so important to have a good name, a good relationship with people, because they constantly refer you, and that's what's the most important is
Right.
doing good business all the time, backing your word up, backing your product up. If something isn't wrong, fix it. I mean,
And we buy watches from, CEOs to business owners to, I mean, literally every single person that you could think of. I just think it's a cool backstory to see, like, because everyone's always like wondering, like, what are the profit margins? What is this? And obviously, we're going to get into more detail about stuff like that. I just wanted to, like, off the rip, just kind of give you guys just a little rundown.
How does that work in your market, like with luxury goods? Like, do you see a little bit more margin? Are you able to achieve a bit more margin? How does that
Well,
work?
right before I just pressed play on this, I actually just bought a couple pairs of shoes. That's why we had to pause this for a second. And I made a couple $100 in literally when I was going to the bathroom, so 10 seconds. So some days it's just amazing. I can make thousands, you know what I mean? But shoes are also a lot cheaper, and I sell in bulk, mostly to stores. Like if a friend reaches out and they're like, hey, Dylan, can you get me a Travis Scott? Can you do that? Yeah, I can. You know what I mean? Like, I love the guy, I take care of him, whatever, their girl, whatever. Or a girl, you know what I'm saying? I take care of them. But I sell to stores, and I think that's the best thing. If you can go business to business in that aspect, I think you'll make a killing. And I didn't realize that. That's why mystery boxes for me are so important, because if you can have somebody make money, you literally will have a customer forever. So I'm literally giving these people a business. That's why mystery boxes, like I'm guaranteeing you, let's just say 30 to 50%, right? You get a mystery box from me. All of a sudden now, you literally have the opportunity to either keep the shoes, give them away, whatever you want to do, or sell them.
Wow.
Now, if you sell the shoes, I'm guaranteeing you 30 to 50%. That's just like the low numbers. I've been doing crazier ones too, right?
Wow.
So now I'm giving them the opportunity to start their own business. I have people that,
You could be your own boss.
bro, you could be your own boss, bro. I literally
Just off of you.
type.
Wow.
I have people literally paying for houses, down payments, car notes, house notes, just off mystery boxes, just off of like, dang, what if I just started reselling? And that's why I think this podcast is so important. Like, what if you just started right now? We always say that. Like, what if you just started right now? But you never know what you could do. All of a sudden you're wearing roll. It's just whatever that is to you, man, anything is possible.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think like, as we build and develop this thing, like obviously we're going to have guests on and people that will come in. And, I think there's a lot more to flipping than people think. They think, oh, shoes, oh, watches. I mean, there's a lot of flips out there. There's a lot of people who mastered this art. And I think like, as we go through this podcast, we'll start to have some of the interviews with those type of people that can, help inform in different segments of the market that we don't see every day, but also those same type of rules, apply to us, which is great.
Oh, the circle that we keep too is insane. Some of these people are making a ton of money, and I think that is important to know, because number one, we're learning every single day too.
Yep.
And how nice is it to teach them too, on top of that?
Absolutely. So, we kind of wanted to, give a few tips on flipping. We'll maybe do like a part 1 or part 2 on this, because there is quite a few. But like, we kind of sat down, and between me and Dylan, we figured out kind of, I guess, 12 tips that you should know about flipping. And, we'll get into a few of them. So I want to take some time. So we'll split this into 2 parts. But let's get into it. What do you think, as like a business that's operating and running and flipping, what is one of your most important things to continue to do business-wise? I guess, what is the lifeblood of your business? What keeps your business running? What's the gasoline? What's the blood?
Cash, baby. And it's just off the rip. We didn't write this down. Cash, baby. I think that in my business and your business, very similar, right? I think that if you can turn over the money and keep it moving, I think you will always have money to generate in the business and just keep it going. The people that are like, Dylan, I'm going to hold this shoe and I'm going to do that. You're going to hold the shoe for an extra $100, $30, $50? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Literally, sell the shoe, sell the watch, reinvest, keep doing it over and over and over again. All of a sudden, you're like, damn, I have 50,000. I started with what? You started with like what, 1,200? Yeah, a little different now, right?
Well, when we were talking earlier, we said a little quote. We said, cash is king, but cash flow is the kingdom.
Tight.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, it really is. I think it's become it is the most important thing in my business as well. It's incredible what you can do with a small amount of capital, as long as you are continuing to have cash flow. So you can't continue to stock items that will sit on a retail shelf for plus 90 days,
For sure.
plus, 6 months. Like, that could be part of your strategy. But in the beginning, I think it's very key to be like light and nimble, because those type of things help you to become a bigger business, do more deals, get more referrals, blah, 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 all those type of things.
And if you're a person who's just starting out, and maybe you don't have a big bankroll, maybe you're like, well, I don't know how I'm going to be able to buy a Rolex, or how I'm going to be able to buy a pair of shoes, or what I'm going to be able to do. Well, first of all, don't get high on your own supply. I could tell you that. I love looking at watches, and I mean, I've tried on almost not all, well, a lot of really, really cool watches that I would say that are stuff that I really, really would want. Shoes, I've almost had everything, which is cool to say,
Yep.
which is like the coolest to say. But I would say don't get high on your own supply and keep the product moving. You're obviously, if you start off with 1,200, you're going to keep expanding. People are like, well, I don't know what to do. Bro, do you have a couple $100s? Buy literally a pair of shoes. I'm going to tell you guys soon, not yet, where to buy the shoes at, where to sell them at. And it's literally that simple. And it's really not that much of a bankroll when you need, especially with shoes. Even some watches too, though, right, Eddie?
No, even some watches. I mean, you can start small. Like I would start smaller and like off-brand. Like,
For sure.
don't start with Rolex. Rolex is it's harder just because most people know that market. It is
Right.
not hard. It's actually pretty easy, but you're spending, like we said, $11,000 to make $200. So it's like you could also go technically buy a Breitling and have a much better margin, or a Hublot and have a much better margin to make more money. Yes, it's not considered in, that's
Right.
in our zeitgeist, our world, that it's like, oh, that's the most popular watch, but people want them. I mean, and they are. It's a watch. It's a nice timepiece. Why can't everybody have their own expression of style? You know what I
Well,
mean?
people see the Rolexes, they see the stuff like, I want to flip that, I want to do that. It's cooler to them, which we like to sell. Obviously,
it's fun.
we like to sell
It's
that kind of
fun
stuff
for
too.
sure. Yeah, I love to have Rolexes. I love to wear Rolexes on my wrist. I mean, it feels cool. It is cool. But I mean, also too, it's not where I started either. I mean, like I said, I flipped a $1,200 Zenith. It's like, and just by doing
true.
it and doing it quick, and then trying, the more I did it, the more clients I met, the more business I had, the more business I had, the more watches I buy, the more watches I buy, the more watches I sell.
I remember wearing G-Shocks in high school, bro, and I was matching them to my outfit, to my cars, and I felt like the man, bro, wearing G-Shocks and stuff like that. All jokes aside, I got my first Rolex years ago. I threw the G-Shock in the garbage, where I still had it. I just chucked it, literally. I mean, I took it out of the garbage, respectfully. I
Did you
didn't.
see how I mean, I know it was like popular in the past, but now it came back, like the flooded G-Shocks, like getting them all iced out.
Yeah, I
It's
want one.
like super popular.
Yeah, I want one.
You do?
I wore it bust down for 2 years.
You like that?
No, but I want one.
It's cool.
I think it's like you go out to dinner, like for New Year's, like New Year's Eve, or when I go out to New Year's, bro, I would like to have a bust down. Remember I told you I want to get that Cardi or something like that?
That
It'd
would
be
be
fun.
fun. I mean, they're fun watches to wear out.
I know when like the collector's like, oh, I can't believe that you would bust down your watch. Bro,
Like you said, it's a fucking $8,000 watch. I mean, really, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I didn't buy this to collect it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just buying it to have a good time.
yeah, exactly. That point, does it really fucking matter?
I mean, no, it doesn't. You know,
Yeah.
buy whatever you like. I
Yeah.
think at the end of the day, as long as you enjoy it. I mean, don't spend $25,000 on it. I would suggest.
Oh, unless your budget is like that, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want. This
Maybe.
isn't financial information we're giving you guys, right?
So then, number two, I was thinking, is when you buy in the beginning, when I started out, like when I would get a product, I was like super excited about it. You
Right.
know what I mean? Because it's like the first time you see it. It's the
Right.
first time that you're getting it. It's the first time you get to put your hands on that thing that you wanted, but now you've got to sell it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you get caught up in that a little bit. Like,
I know the feeling.
you
I know the
become
feeling.
almost the end consumer when you are supposed to be the broker, the middleman, the flipper, in essence.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess, like, how did you navigate that? Did you have that same experience? How did it?
Well, it's like I said about getting high on your own supply, though. I mean,
Okay, that's true.
I mean, I definitely don't think that you need every single pair. Now, if you built your bankroll up big enough to where you have sold multiple shoes and you really wanted that shoe, worst comes to worst, you could wear the shoe and then sell it. So you're really not out money necessarily.
True.
But business mindset, I'm not keeping that shoe. I'm flipping. I'm not keeping that watch. I'm not keeping that chain. I'm not, at least right now.
Yes.
Because man, does it feel good when you actually can afford it as opposed to just flexing it? Don't you think like it's a little better to be able to, yeah.
It's totally different. Like, I felt, it feels good though. Like, I mean, in the beginning when I was buying all these watches and stuff, it was like almost I had like a revolving collection.
You put on your wrist, you're like, bro, this is.
Which is one of the benefits. Can
Yeah.
we also say that too? Like, maybe not monetary wise, but like, I mean, while you're trying to build your brand, like, it is good to be associated with, I guess, having a nice watch, with knowing your fashion sense, your fashion
For
style,
sure.
and shoes and this and that. It's like people, I mean, we say don't judge a book by its cover, but how it became a saying because people do. You know what I mean? People
Facts.
do judge books by their cover. So it's like at the same time too, you have to project this thing. And like, I guess that is maybe not a monetary thing that you feel in the moment, but it is something that helps to move you and your business of flipping forward.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
So if you pulled up, I don't know, a Prius, a Honda, whatever, right? and you went to sell a watch, do you think they would take you less serious because
Well, yeah, bro,
of that?
100%. Like I
Okay.
think like you got a guy who shows up and buys a watch in a Lamborghini, they're thinking he's legit. And
It's funny
actually,
how that is.
they may not be legit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It's just like
No, we are. No, we're
they
talking about you
they
in that lamb right now.
they may not be that legit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
I mean, when I met you and when we pulled up, like I had a Model 3. Like I mean, I wasn't flexing hard on anybody over here. But I mean, like, you know, I did have a solid gold Daytona on, and I went to come buy a $50,000 watch from you. Like, I
Yeah,
had my
yeah,
business stuff
yeah,
straight, but I
yeah.
wasn't flexing in that aspect. I do think if I was flexing in that aspect, it would allow me to move my business along quicker because people, I believe, from what I can tell, people seem to value that. You know, in value, they want to see you doing good, but like, is doing good having a $3,000 a month car payment?
I don't know. I've had those before. I don't know.
I know, but
I don't
like,
know. I don't know if necessarily that's the case. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And like,
Flexing for other people instead of yourself. I mean, I get it, but I just think that people see like the G wagons, the Urises, and stuff like that. They're like, I take you way more serious because you have that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100% without a shadow of a doubt. So it's like,
And I'm thinking I kind of do too when it comes to certain stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like the over the top where they're trying too hard, and I'm like, bro, like we get it.
no, I mean, me and you see it, like all these big
Yeah.
dealers. I mean, it's like, that's crazy. I mean, and good for them, but it's like, also, how the heck do you make that much money on your clients?
That's true.
I mean, I don't know.
That's
Whatever.
tight.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But
That's also just not you as a person. You're just not like that flexy type. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll have a nice watch. The first thing girls look at, or men or whatever, I swear to you, they look at your shoes, they look at your watch. It's like the first two things they look at. It's the craziest thing, right?
Yep.
And if a girl's looking too hard at your watch, first of all, I would chill. I don't know if I'd have that girl. Bro, I brought a girl out one time. She was like, "You have a this." I said, "Does your father have that watch? How do you know?" No, mine doesn't have that. I was like, dang,
Dang.
that's crazy, bro. I didn't know about that. So
real.
you gotta be careful.
Yeah. But to the point, you get caught up, you get
Yeah.
wrapped up in all that
Yeah.
when you're buying an item. These are the things that go through your head unconsciously that you don't know. And it's like the things you got to be concerned about with buying that item. Obviously, make sure you're buying that item with the intent to exit it. So take
Yeah.
into account your fees, take into account your shipping, take into account the fact that you might wear that and you might scratch that. Take into account those type of things so that at the end you come out profitable. And it might be hard. And even if you profit $100-200, that's good. That's positive. That's moving forward in the right direction. As you continue to do more deals, you will get better and better.
It's still a win.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of deals that I have not had wins on.
I know. I agree.
And you have too. You know what I mean?
Yep. So when me and you were buying, how do you know what to buy for?
Like market wise, you mean?
Like maybe not your exact process, but what's the philosophy behind it? What's the, you know?
I've gotten so good through the years. I mean, it's literally been over 10 years that I know for the most part what I can sell the shoe for, the watch for, the chrome hearts for, whatever, right? So I know kind of the margin in my head, what I think I should offer without offending somebody. So that's a big deal too. Like, bro, I'm not trying to get rich off like one piece of like chrome hearts or like one Travis Scott or something like that. I think that's a big deal too. I think that you should be as fair as possible when it comes to offering people. Like, maybe I have lowballed people in the past, and yes, like, so what, right? It's not like I'm intentionally trying to lowball you. It's the fact that I know what I can sell it for, and my clientele will buy it for this price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my head, I kind of see the margins, and I've bought so many shoes that I can kind of tell where it should be at. And I'm also watching the market now, and shoes are, if you guys are watching, obviously shoes are like horrible right now, right? But that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially for buying, right? So that's kind of a plus side. So I kind of gauge off the market. If it's new, you kind of don't have too much wiggle room because, you know, StockX, Goats, eBays, all that stuff like that. So you can kind of gauge where it should go. But I have enough stores to where I know that I can probably make, 20, 40% just off that without offending the person, because I want to have the relationship with them. Because why would they lowball me if I lowball them, why would they come back to me?
Well, we're talking about like 20% on maybe $200. So you're making like $40. It's like at the end of the day, it's like your margins sound bigger than mine, 3 to 5%, and they are bigger than mine, no doubt about it. But it's like, it's easier to not offend somebody on a $240 pair of shoes that you offer $200 on. I mean, they allow you to make that margin.
That's the thing.
They should allow you to.
Well, let me ask you this. I feel like houses and watches and cars, people have like a lot of like sentimental, emotional value when they sell. People don't really care about shoes, right?
I don't know. That's true. I never
I
even
mean,
thought
do
about
people
that.
care about? Yeah, they care about shoes, but like on to the next one. They'll be like, my great grandfather gave me this, and they have stories. Just like
Huh.
if you sell a house, though, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you get that a lot. Even though the watch may be worth, let's just say 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
10K. To them, it's worth 15 or 20 because it's a sentimental value. This is worth more. I'm never going to be able to. Well, the market is the market, right?
Yes, and exactly what I wanted to say is the comps
Tight.
are the truth, okay? Not the story, not his grandfather's this, not his mother's that. That doesn't matter.
But the story is nice.
It's nice, but it doesn't matter.
Nah.
Okay, what matters is the comps. Go on, check your sold items, make sure these items are continuing to sell. See how long other people have held them. Don't just look at items that are listed. A lot of people wish to get a lot of money for something, but what is actually achieved at the end of the day is very, very important. That's something that can be overlooked. You know what I mean?
Well, I've caught myself with cars too, like selling them. I'm like, no, but I put this much into it and I did that. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, the car's worth what the car's worth. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
What are you
it
gonna
is
do?
what it is. Yeah.
what are you going to do? I mean, as much as you want it to be worth more, it's just not. And you have to be kind of cold-hearted when it comes to this. You have to like this stuff because it keeps you interested in it. It makes you really love what you do, but you also have to be a business person about this. You're not buying it for yourself. You're buying it for the intent to resell it. So you do have to leave yourself a margin. And leave yourself a margin and prepare for returns, prepare for complaints, prepare for all this type of stuff. And if things happen, you can still take care of your client. You can still take a return and you can still get out of the item without, hopefully you're not losing anything, but if God forbid, losing very little. That is just minimizing the losses as long as you're learning as you're going.
I mean, you bought a watch today that has engraving in the back of it.
Yep,
Somebody loved the watch. They probably did not want that watch to go. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, probably given as a gift by somebody who thought he'd never give it away. And I mean, things happen.
Things happen, baby.
That's just the way it is. But that goes back also now too to a fourth point, which is condition. Look at the condition of everything that you buy and be honest with yourself. Like we can get caught up. We can be, what's hard is when you're buying a deal, you're like talking to the person, trying to establish rapport, and then also trying to make a relationship because you want to know your clients. You want to be a good guy to these people, and then at the end of the day, you're also trying to buy. So you're also trying to examine authenticity. You're also trying to examine if there's any marks or this or that, and it's actually quite a lot when you're in the moment of doing the deal. And me and you work by yourself, I work by myself most of the time. I mean, it's just us. I mean, we all the way down to cleaning the toilets, we all the way up sitting CEO. You know what I'm saying? We do everything in between. It just that's on us. So it's like I think that you can get overwhelmed and miss some of these fundamental things like condition. What are some crazy things you've seen? Like,
Well, I mean, just the other day, I mean, I get stuff like this, like it's worn once or it's tried on. Well, people ask me, do you open every single shoebox when you buy? Bro, I open every single shoebox. I look at every single shoe. I'm not just like, oh, bro, you know what? I like you. I think they're good.
I had a client who bought 2 fake RMs, bro. 2 fake RMs. Like you're talking, and I mean for full pop. He lost $400,000 to $600,000. I'll tell you what, he never flipped a watch again.
No, that's brutal.
Like, I mean, and sometimes work with somebody who knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? Send them some photos, ask some questions. I mean, it wouldn't hurt you.
Also, I think this podcast is so important just to help with stuff like that. I mean, whether it's 400, 4,000, or 400,000. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then after you did all of that and you authenticated, you made the client, you made the reputation, you go back now and you go to sell the product.
Yes.
So now you got to deal with these things, the fees we talked about.
Yeah.
And then also
Chargebacks,
returns, fraud. My package didn't get here. This wasn't like you described it. How come you didn't tell me about this? I mean, how I end up being a customer service agent like quite often throughout the day because people genuinely have a lot of questions about these items. I mean, they're expensive and stuff like that.
Right.
And you have to calculate that into your cost. Like, I mean, you might take that return because a client doesn't like it, and it might behoove you to just take the return.
Right.
Instead of trying to shove it down your client's throat. You know what I mean? Like, if someone doesn't genuinely like something, help them.
I think that's an important thing too. I think if somebody came to me and they're like, yo, this size doesn't fit or this doesn't, I'm going to make it right 100% of the time. And I think that that's a lesson that people should know. Whether you do or you do not do that, always should. It sounds so stupid to say, but like you really, the customer is always right. And especially if this is like a long-term customer, if my boy's like, yo, this size doesn't fit, or the store's like, you said this was new and it's used, they're not trying to get me.
No.
It's genuinely either just a mistake or it does not fit them. So I'm
Yes.
obviously going to take care of the person. You know what I mean?
And a lot of the times when you become good with these clients and you are reasonable, a lot of them are willing to work with you
Oh,
on
for
this stuff.
sure.
Like, hey, it
For
had
sure.
this and that, but can we do 20 or 100 or this much back? Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you end up creating a better client like that
For
because
sure.
you didn't just sell them. You would then also like helped to serve them. You know what I mean? And make sure that that purchase was exactly what they wanted through your company.
I think that goes back to just being honest and just doing good business. And I literally cannot stress that enough. Like that'll be like the main topic right now, that just doing good business is like the most, it's like the most positive thing that you could do.
Do what you say you're going to do. Be
Facts.
a man or a woman of your word. Do when you say
Yeah.
you're going to do something, when you say you're going to be there, when you say you're going to pay this amount, if it is as described and you said you're going to be there, pay that person. I mean, if it's not, of course,
Yeah, facts.
make concessions, but I think that that's like really important. I think that's helped both me and you to like stay in business when we've seen a lot of people come in and out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For
So-
sure. Guys, we just wanted to give you a couple tips, kind of give you an intro, explain who we are, what we do. We are excited to have a part 2 to this. We are going to share 5 to 6 more topics on how you can resell, how you can make money, what you should sell stuff, where you should sell stuff. We're excited to have this podcast. Eddie, obviously.
This is just the beginning, I think.
Facts.
I mean, you got to get to know us and we got to get to know you. But, basically, we just want to be here and like be those guys that you guys can talk about flipping with, like regardless of what it is, just get good at seeing deals, spotting deals, seeing opportunities and spotting those opportunities and starting to make wealth and income for yourself freely and independent of somebody else. I think that's such a cool skill. And, we've done really good ourselves, and I'd like to help other people. Why not?
And we're so passionate about what we do. And we are so passionate that we can help you guys achieve your goals, whether it's to resell, whether it's to get things at a better price, whatever it may be. We believe that we can help you. So thanks for watching. It's nice to be back on YouTube. If you guys are a Dylan Flex fan, you guys remember Flex Squad. We back, baby. It is good to make videos again. Until now, we are out, baby.
Flip this.